Paraguay's Atlantic forest is one of the most endangered ecosystems on Earth. In just 50 years, the forest has been reduced from 20,000 square kilometres to little more than 50. Most has gone over to industrial agriculture. The forest is home to the Ache people, who still live as hunter-gatherers. But now, thanks to an ingenious scheme to turn their traditional high-energy infusion, yerba mate, into an alternative to coffee, the Indians may have found a way to preserve their way of life in what remains of the forest. The wholesale destruction of the Ache's forest did not start in earnest until the 1970s. The Ache, who had little contact until then with the outside world, were helpless. As their forest retreated, so did their hold on surviving on what the forest could provide. Today, after less than 4 decades, only 7% of the forest remains. Their world has shrunk before the insatiable demand for animal fodder, mostly soybeans and maize. It's a pattern repeated throughout landlocked Paraguay, where the Guayaki, the generic name for indigenous peoples, have experienced centuries of human rights abuses.
My community had to leave the forest in the 1970s, and we had nowhere to go. We are hunter-gatherers, so we always moved from one place to the next in the forest. But as the farmers came and built roads and grew crops, our forest just got smaller and smaller. We have returned because these are our ancestral lands, the last bit that remains with its forest.
It is thanks to a new market for yerba mate that the Ache have been able to return. Alex Pryor is one of the founders of Guayaki, a company marketing the energy infusion drink as an alternative to coffee in the USA.
We have learned much from your sense of community. We've learned that you should never surrender.
Dawn, day 1 of the harvest. All 250 Ache community members join in over the 2 days it takes to harvest the yerba mate crop. The Ache people are the smallest indigenous group in Paraguay. To revive their way of life, they needed to earn enough money to survive without destroying any more of the forest.
We decided to start Guayaki Yerba Mate as a business that would sell yerba mate in the market of the United States as a healthy alternative to coffee, and have that be the driver for restoration in South America. Define it as market-driven restoration, not only of ecosystems, but also of communities.
Yerba mate is a leafy shrub that grows naturally on the forest floor. It's been used for centuries by the indigenous people for its pick-me-up properties.
Yerba mate has very strong health attributes, no? I mean, it has the strength of coffee, it has the health of green tea, and it has the euphoria of chocolate. It brings the symbolism of hospitality, of friendship, of dialogue.
The yerba mate is brewed in a gourd, which is then shared. The Ache-grown Guayaki infusion faces stiff competition from the commercially grown plantation equivalent. But Guayaki's agricultural expert, Nelson Garay, is confident that theirs is a better product with a proven appeal to a high-value niche market.
La yerba mate es originaria de esta zona.
Yerba mate comes from this area, just like the Ache people.
Yerba
mate has always been part of their community traditions. What we are trying to do with this project is to join culture and tradition with a production model that creates energy.
The Guayaki yerba mate is planted and grown on the forest floor, benefiting from the shade the canopy provides. It's a demonstration that clearing the forest to cultivate the leaves is not necessary. The yields are lower than the plantation equivalent, but consumer choice can close the gap. Marketed as a fair trade organic crop, the first of its kind from Paraguay, the Guayaki brand attracts the consumer prepared to pay a small premium.
Este proyecto permite
This project allows for the gradual, sustainable harvesting of the crop. It takes 12 years for a yerba mate plant to reach full height, and it can be harvested for another 85 years. That slow growth cycle is part of the Ache tradition. So an industrial crop method would destroy the cultural affinity with the plant. It would destroy their community structure and their traditional knowledge.
The model established with the Ache in Paraguay has been so successful that Guayaki has transferred the lessons to several small farming communities in neighboring Brazil and Argentina.
The communities in South America are realizing that by growing the yerba mate below the rainforest canopy, we're preserving ecosystem services such as the soil fertility preservation, protection of watersheds, the protection of biodiversity.
The forest-reared yerba mate has to be carefully dried and roasted to extract the taste and the benefits of the plant. The project has brought the Ache together and spurred them into action to protect the relic of their Atlantic coastal forest.
We have this philosophy of growing slowly, but sticking around longer. And our main objective is to create governance in the communities, and that way there is a balance of powers.
Organising production has had a knock-on effect. Inspired by the project's success, the Ache have petitioned the Paraguay Congress to recognise their ancestral rights to the forest.
We took small samplings of yerba mate to our demonstration in the middle of the road in front of the Ministry of Agriculture and gave some of them away to cars that would pass by. They'd never seen an indigenous people organised and showing their work. We proved that we can make a living without destroying our environment. Then we showed all of the work we've done with Guayaki to Parliament.
The lobbying seems to be working. In July this year, the Ache became the legal owners of the forest.
Everyone, every family, every person was so happy. And now we're conscious that we have to work hard and focus on the future.
Through the Guayaki label, yerba mate is now sold in the largest health food chains across the United States. The company says sales are now running at $15 million a year, and a large part of the profit, according to Guayaki, is reinvested in the Ache community.
We started with a mission for the year 2020 to restore 200,000 acres, 60,000 hectares that would be, of rainforest, and contribute in the building of the community in 1,000 families.
We want to retain our hunter-gatherer lifestyle. It's who we are. And perhaps others can see that we can have money and the things we need in this world without destroying the forest.
So what would Guayaki do with the World Challenge cash prize?
We would destine these funds towards precisely what the Ache Guayaki community of Cuetubi have seen as a major need. A food security project, a 3-year food security project.
On World Challenge, we give each finalist a chance to say why their project deserves to be a winner.
This is the seed that creates Yerba Mate Guayaki, where two worlds meet, the Ache people and Guayaki. It bears fruits and conserves our forest. Yerba Mate Guayaki is the future of our kids and grandkids. Come and share our energy.